Act like nothing disturbs you anymore. This is very powerful. Stoicism. In the chaos of our modern world, where stress and uncertainty seem to reign, it's easy to be overwhelmed by negative emotions and endless worries. But I can tell you that over 2,000 years ago, Stoic philosophers uncovered timeless wisdom that can help us navigate these turbulent waters with unshakable calm and resolve. Stoicism teaches us that real power isn't about controlling the uncontrollable. It's about mastering our own thoughts and emotions. By seeing challenges as opportunities, letting go of imagined fears, and embracing the impermanence of life, we can find an inner peace that nothing can disturb. Are you ready to embrace this powerful philosophy and discover how to act as if nothing can shake you anymore? Join me on this transformative journey, where we delve into Stoicism's profound teachings and learn how to unlock a life of true strength and resilience. This is your path to becoming the strongest, most unbreakable version of yourself. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life. Number 1. View obstacles as opportunities. The obstacle is the way. Marcus Aurelius. Life is not a straight path. It's a journey filled with unexpected turns, obstacles, and challenges that test our character and resolve. However, instead of viewing these obstacles as barriers to our progress, Stoic philosophy teaches us to see them as opportunities for growth and transformation. Marcus Aurelius, a revered Stoic philosopher, captured this wisdom when he said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This perspective shift is crucial not only in Stoicism, but in how we approach life itself. Consider the life of Jesus Christ, a figure whose story transcends time and religion, embodying the principle of turning adversity into opportunity. Faced with betrayal, unimaginable pain, and ultimately death, Jesus did not succumb to despair. Instead, he used these sufferings as a platform to teach the world about patience, forgiveness, and unconditional love. His darkest moments became the most powerful testimonies of hope and salvation. This narrative beautifully mirrors the Stoic approach to adversity, where pain and hardship are not seen as mere punishments but as crucibles through which our inner strength and virtue are forged. Reflect on your own experiences. When you last encountered a significant challenge, how did you respond? Were you paralyzed by fear or frustration? Or did you find within yourself the resilience to turn that challenge into a stepping stone? Stoicism encourages us to delve deep within, to harness our inner power, and to use every obstacle as a means to strengthen our character. This mindset transforms us from mere survivors into individuals who thrive, regardless of the circumstances. In today's fast-paced world, where stress and uncertainty often cloud our judgment, this Stoic principle is more relevant than ever. It's easy to become overwhelmed by the constant barrage of challenges, whether they be in our careers, personal lives, or the global landscape. But remember, each obstacle you face is an opportunity disguised as a difficulty. When you embrace challenges with an open heart and a clear mind, you unlock the potential to learn, grow, and ultimately become more resilient. To put this into practice, start by changing your perspective on problems. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger?" This shift in mindset is not about denying the pain or difficulty of the situation, but about recognizing that within every challenge lies a seed of opportunity. It's about understanding that the most profound personal growth often comes from the most significant challenges. Let's look at a more modern example. Consider the story of Thomas Edison. Edison, one of the greatest inventors of all time, is often remembered for his invention of the light bulb, but what many forget is that he failed over 1,000 times before he succeeded. Each failure was not a step backward but a step forward, bringing him closer to success. Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His resilience and ability to view obstacles as opportunities were key to his eventual success. So, how can you apply this to your own life? Start by embracing the challenges you face instead of avoiding them. When you encounter a problem, whether big or small, take a moment to breathe and then ask yourself how this situation can help you grow. Can it teach you patience? Can it improve your problem-solving skills? Can it strengthen your resilience? By consistently applying this mindset, you'll begin to see that what once disturbed you now empowers you. Every challenge you encounter is a chance to build your inner strength. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, obstacles are not your enemies. They are your teachers. They guide you on the path to overcoming difficulties and finding light, even in the darkest moments. When you embrace this philosophy, you'll find that nothing can trouble you anymore because you've learned that every obstacle is simply another opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The Stoic approach to obstacles is not just a way to survive life's hardships, but a way to thrive in spite of them. By viewing every challenge as an opportunity for growth, you unlock a powerful resilience that allows you to navigate life's most challenging moments with grace and strength. So the next time you face an obstacle, remember, this is your opportunity. Embrace it with an open heart and a clear mind, and watch how it transforms not only your circumstances, but your entire approach to life. Number 2, don't suffer imaginary pains. Have you ever paused to consider whether the worries and pains you experience are real or just figments of your imagination? Stoic philosophy offers a powerful insight. Much of the suffering we endure is not caused by actual events but by the scenarios we create in our minds. Think about those moments when you've been consumed by anxiety over an upcoming exam, a crucial meeting, or an important event. How many times have you built up a worst-case scenario in your head, only to find that reality was far less daunting than what you imagined? This tendency to suffer from imagined pains is a common human experience, yet it is one that can be overcome. Even Jesus recognized the futility of such worries when he advised, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." This profound wisdom encourages us to focus on the present, rather than burden ourselves with concerns about the future that may never come to pass. Picture a farmer who spends every day fretting over the upcoming harvest, worrying about droughts, pests, or crop failure. Does his constant worry improve the growth of his crops, or does it only steal his peace and joy? The answer is clear. His fear does nothing to change the outcome, and only serves to make his life more stressful. Now, think about your own life. How often have you allowed imaginary fears to dominate your thoughts? Do these worries provide any real benefit, or do they simply detract from your ability to live fully in the present? When you find yourself in a difficult situation, rather than worrying about what might happen, it's far more productive to focus on what is actually happening and what you can do about it. Worrying about the future not only diminishes your enjoyment of the present moment, but also clouds your judgment and weakens your ability to respond effectively to real challenges. Consider the last time you felt anxious about something that turned out to be less threatening than you had imagined. The relief you felt when you realized that your fears were unfounded is a precious reminder of how much power your mind holds over your emotions. Instead of letting these imaginary pains control you, take a moment to ask yourself, is this fear based on reality, or is it just my imagination running wild? This simple question can help you see more clearly and recognize that many of the fears we hold on to are nothing more than illusions. By seeking the truth and allowing reason to guide your thoughts, you can free yourself from the unnecessary burden of these imagined pains. In modern life, this lesson is more relevant than ever. We live in a world filled with uncertainties, whether it's about our jobs, health, or personal relationships, and it's easy to get caught up in a cycle of worry. But when we allow our fears to dictate our actions, we give up our power to live fully in the present. The next time you catch yourself spiraling into anxiety about what might happen, remind yourself that these fears are often just shadows in your mind, not reflections of reality. Focus instead on what is within your control, your thoughts, your actions, and your responses to the challenges at hand. To make this idea even more tangible, Think about the story of a modern entrepreneur who, despite facing countless setbacks, chose not to be paralyzed by the fear of failure. Instead, he saw each obstacle as a chance to learn and grow. This mindset allowed him to navigate the ups and downs of business with resilience, ultimately leading to success. His story serves as a powerful example of how letting go of imagined fears and focusing on what you can control can lead to incredible outcomes. So, how can you apply this wisdom to your own life? Start by practicing mindfulness. Pay attention to the present moment and recognize when your mind starts to drift into unnecessary worries. When you feel anxiety creeping in, ground yourself by asking, "Is this something I need to worry about right now? Or is it just my imagination playing tricks on me?" By consistently questioning the validity of your fears, you can train your mind to focus on the present and approach life's challenges with a calm and rational mindset. Both Stoic philosophy and the teachings of Jesus remind us that much of the pain we experience is self-inflicted, born from our own imaginations rather than reality. By learning to distinguish between real threats and imagined ones, we can free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and live a more peaceful, meaningful life. The next time you feel burdened by worry, take a step back and ask yourself, is this real, or is it just my mind creating unnecessary pain? With practice, you'll find that letting go of these imaginary pains brings a sense of peace and clarity that nothing else can disturb. Number 3. Embrace impermanence. Life is like a river, constantly flowing, never pausing, and always moving forward. This continuous flow reminds us of the inevitability of change and the impermanence that shapes our existence. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers, once said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This profound insight underscores the fluidity of our perceptions and the importance of accepting change as an inherent part of life. Impermanence is not just about the external world shifting around us, but also about the transformations that occur within our minds and emotions. There are days when joy fills your heart, and other days when sorrow takes its place. Both are fleeting, yet both are essential components of the human experience. Even Jesus, in his teachings, emphasized the need to embrace change and rely on deeper truths. He said, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God." This suggests that our strength and resilience in facing life's uncertainties come not just from material sustenance, but from spiritual and intellectual nourishment. Reflect for a moment on those times in your life when everything seemed to shift unexpectedly. Perhaps it was a loss that left you reeling, or a sudden success that altered your path. How did you handle those moments? Did you resist the change, or did you find a way to adapt and grow stronger through it? By accepting impermanence, we open ourselves up to peace and the opportunity to view every change as a stepping stone towards personal growth. Impermanence, while often seen as a source of anxiety, can also be a profound gift. It allows us to fully appreciate the present moment, to savor the time we have with loved ones, and to cherish the experiences that make life so rich. When you understand that nothing is permanent, you begin to value each moment more deeply. Ask yourself this: can you find it within yourself to embrace change and discover peace in the knowledge that everything is temporary? This acceptance of impermanence does not lead to despair, but to a life lived with more meaning and depth. When you stop fearing loss and change, you start living each moment with a sense of gratitude and love that enriches your life. Consider, too, the story of a tree in the changing seasons. In spring, it blooms with new life. In summer, it stands tall and strong. In autumn, it sheds its leaves. And in winter, it stands bare, preparing for the cycle to begin anew. The tree does not resist the seasons but adapts to each one, thriving in its acceptance of nature's rhythm. Like the tree, we too must adapt to the changes in our lives, understanding that each phase brings its own lessons and beauty. By embracing the impermanence of life, we can find serenity in the present and courage to face the future. In modern life, where everything seems to be in constant flux, jobs, relationships, health, and even our own thoughts, Accepting impermanence can be a powerful tool for maintaining inner peace. Instead of clinging to what was or fearing what might be, we can learn to live fully in the now, appreciating the fleeting beauty of each moment. The next time you encounter a significant change or an unexpected challenge, try to see it not as a disruption, but as part of the natural flow of life. Ask yourself, how can I grow from this? What can I learn? These questions not only help you cope with change, but also transform it into an opportunity for personal development. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the belief that change is neither good nor bad. It simply is. Our task is not to resist it, but to understand it, to accept it, and to use it as a means of becoming wiser and more resilient. This perspective is beautifully echoed in the teachings of Jesus, who encourages us to find strength in our faith and understanding, rather than in the fleeting certainties of the world. By integrating these teachings into your life, you begin to see that impermanence is not something to fear, but something to embrace. It is the very essence of life, the force that shapes our journey and gives it meaning. So, what does this mean for you, right now? It means that by accepting impermanence, you can start living a life free from the fear of change. You can begin to see the beauty in every moment, knowing that it is unique and will never come again. This mindset allows you to approach life with a sense of calm and purpose, no longer troubled by the inevitability of change, but rather inspired by it. Embracing impermanence is not just a Stoic practice or a spiritual teaching. It is an art form, a way of living that brings peace, joy, and resilience. Let the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and the teachings of Jesus guide you on this path. Accept that everything changes, and in doing so, you will discover the true beauty and wonder of life. Number 4. Master the art of detachment. Have you ever wondered what it truly means to live a life undisturbed by external forces? To reach a state where nothing can shake your inner peace, where you are unbothered by the chaos of the world? This might sound like an unattainable ideal, but it's a powerful mindset that Stoic philosophy teaches us to cultivate. Imagine walking through life, confident in your ability to remain calm no matter what comes your way. This is not about becoming emotionless or indifferent, but about mastering the art of detachment, understanding what truly matters and letting go of what doesn't. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, we are constantly bombarded by situations beyond our control. Loss, failure, unforeseen challenges, and disappointments. Yet, how we react to these situations defines the quality of our lives. Mastering the art of detachment is not about shirking responsibility or embracing indifference. Instead, it's about recognizing our limits and choosing not to allow things beyond our control to dictate our happiness. As the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This fundamental principle encourages us to take control of our inner world, rather than being at the mercy of external events. The teachings of Jesus also echo this sentiment, urging us to let go and trust in a higher power. Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved, the Bible tells us. This is a call to place our trust in something greater than ourselves, to free ourselves from the unnecessary worries and burdens that weigh us down. When we cling to things we cannot change, we create our suffering. It's like carrying a heavy load on a long journey. Every unnecessary weight slows us down and makes the journey more difficult. Consider the times in your life when you've been fixated on something beyond your control, a relationship that ended, a job that was lost, or an opportunity that passed you by. Have you ever asked yourself whether holding on to these things truly brings you happiness, or does it only prolong your suffering? Imagine how much lighter you would feel if you could let go of these burdens and open yourself up to new and better possibilities. This is the essence of detachment, understanding that life is full of ebbs and flows, and that peace comes from accepting change rather than resisting it. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, offers us a profound reminder in his work. Meditations. That which is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bees. This metaphor speaks to the interconnectedness of our lives. Just as bees must contribute to the health of the beehive, we too must contribute to our own well-being and that of our community by letting go of what is not good for our souls. Holding on to negative emotions, past mistakes, or unchangeable circumstances only harms us and those around us. By practicing the art of letting go, we can shift our focus to what we can control: our actions, our attitudes, and our responses. To truly master the art of letting go, start by asking yourself some simple yet powerful questions. Is this important? Is this within my control? If the answer is no, then it's time to release it. This practice, though simple in concept, can be challenging in execution. However, with consistent effort, it can lead to profound inner peace and true freedom. As Seneca wisely noted, if you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. By changing our mindset and learning to detach from what does not serve us, we become stronger, more resilient, and better equipped to face life's challenges. In today's fast-paced world, where we are constantly pressured to achieve, acquire, and compete, the ability to let go is more crucial than ever. It allows us to live more fully, focusing on what truly matters: our values, our relationships, and our growth. By letting go, we liberate ourselves from the tyranny of unnecessary worries and open the door to new opportunities and experiences that align with our true selves. As you reflect on these ideas, consider how they apply to your own life. Are there areas where you're holding on too tightly? Are there burdens you could set down to walk a little lighter? The wisdom of Stoicism, combined with the teachings of Jesus, offers us a clear path to peace and tranquility. The key is to practice detachment not just as a concept, but as a daily habit, something that we continuously work on and refine. Are you ready to take this step toward a more peaceful and fulfilling life? If so, declare your commitment to mastering the art of letting go. Share your thoughts, leave a comment, and let's engage in a conversation about how we can apply these timeless principles to our everyday lives. Remember, every challenge we face holds the seed of opportunity, but only for those who are willing to let go of the past and embrace the present with open hearts and minds. So, take a deep breath, release what you cannot control, and step confidently into a future where your inner peace remains unshaken, no matter what life throws your way. Number 5. Practice daily reflection. Have you ever taken a moment at the end of your day to really think about everything that has happened, your actions, your thoughts, and your emotions? Daily reflection is not just a habit, but a powerful tool deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, guiding us toward self-improvement and inner peace. When we make time to reflect, we give ourselves the opportunity to learn from our experiences, to face our mistakes, and to recognize our strengths and weaknesses. This practice isn't just about looking back. It's about using what we've learned to grow and improve every single day. Consider this. Every night, before you close your eyes, you spend just a few minutes writing down what you've experienced throughout the day. What did you do well? What could you have done better? This simple act of journaling can be incredibly transformative. Not only does it help you keep track of your progress, but it also brings clarity to your thoughts and emotions, making you more aware of the person you are and the person you want to become. It's like having a conversation with yourself, where you can be both your harshest critic and your biggest supporter. Let's think about this in a more practical, modern context. Imagine you've had a tough day at work, a project didn't go as planned, or a colleague said something that bothered you. Instead of letting these negative experiences fester, you sit down at the end of the day and reflect on them. What could you have done differently? Was there a lesson hidden in that frustration? By reflecting on these moments, you're not only processing your emotions but also preparing yourself to handle similar situations better in the future. This is the essence of Stoicism, transforming every experience, no matter how challenging, into an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, was a firm believer in the power of daily reflection. In his writings, known as Meditations, he recorded his thoughts, struggles, and philosophical insights, not just to remind himself of how to live better, but to leave a legacy of wisdom for future generations. He believed that by reflecting on our daily actions, we prepare our minds to face any challenge with calmness and clarity. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, he wrote, emphasizing the importance of mindfulness and reflection in shaping our character and our destiny. But this practice of reflection is not exclusive to Stoicism. Even Jesus encouraged his followers to reflect and pray daily. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you, he said, reminding us that through reflection and seeking, we gain the wisdom and guidance we need to navigate life's challenges. Just as a ship's captain checks his course regularly to avoid straying into dangerous waters, we too must check our own course through reflection to ensure we're heading in the right direction. Now here's a question for you. What did you do today that moved you closer to your goals? Is there anything you regret? Something you wish you could do differently tomorrow? By asking yourself these questions each night, you're not just passively recounting the day's events, you're actively engaging in a process of self-improvement. This is what makes daily reflection so powerful. It's a practice that encourages continuous growth, helping you to become more resilient, patient, and compassionate over time. Let me share a story that might resonate with you. There was once a man who every night would sit by his window with a cup of tea, thinking about his day. No matter how busy or chaotic his day had been, he always found time for this ritual. One day he realized that by reflecting each night, he had become less reactive, more thoughtful in his decisions, and more at peace with the ups and downs of life. This man didn't just live each day. He used each day as a stepping stone toward becoming a better version of himself. His story is a reminder that the simple act of reflection can lead to profound changes in how we live our lives. So, what will you reflect on tonight? Will you think about how you handled a difficult conversation or how you spent your time? Or perhaps you'll reflect on the things that brought you joy and how you can bring more of that into your life. Whatever it is, let each day be more than just an existence. Let it be a step forward on your journey of self-improvement through constant reflection and learning. As we draw inspiration from Stoic philosophy and the teachings of Jesus, remember that these practices are not just ancient wisdom. They are tools we can use today to live more meaningful and fulfilled lives. Your journey of self-improvement doesn't end here. It's a lifelong process, and daily reflection is your guide along the way. Are you ready to make this a part of your routine? If so, take a moment to reflect on your day, and if you feel inspired, share your thoughts with others. Leave a comment saying, "I cherish my life." And let's continue this journey together, spreading the true values of Stoic philosophy to everyone who is ready to listen and learn. Remember, each day is a new opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become the best version of yourself. Let's embrace it with open hearts and clear minds, and see where this path of reflection can take us. Number 6. Cultivate inner peace. Inner peace is not something that falls into our laps by chance. It's a state of being that we must actively cultivate through deliberate practice, reflection, and a commitment to understanding ourselves. Picture yourself facing the many challenges life throws at you: work pressures, family responsibilities, and the daily worries that seem never-ending. How do you maintain a sense of calm amidst all this turmoil? The key lies in realizing that while you may not be able to control everything that happens around you, you have complete control over how you respond to these events. This is the essence of inner peace, finding stability and calmness within yourself, no matter what is happening externally. Jesus offered a profound invitation to those who are weary and burdened. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." This powerful message reminds us that true peace and strength come from faith and love, And while we cannot always change our circumstances, we can transform our reactions to them. By learning to view life's challenges with a calm and objective mind, we can discover the deep, lasting peace that many of us seek but few find. The teachings of Stoicism echo this sentiment, emphasizing that our peace of mind depends not on external factors, but on our internal state. Imagine your mind as a serene, clear lake nestled deep within a forest. Storms may come, winds may howl, and the surface may ripple, but beneath it all, the water remains pure and tranquil. This is the kind of inner peace you can cultivate, a peace that remains undisturbed by the external storms of life. Now ask yourself, what steps can you take to create this sense of calm within you every day? One effective approach is to dedicate time to meditation, reflection, and prayer. By spending a few moments each day connecting with your inner self and, if you are spiritual, with God, you can foster a deep sense of peace that permeates your soul. Starting your day with meditation, focusing on your breath and consciously letting go of your worries can set a tone of calmness that carries you through the day. At the end of the day, taking time to reflect on what has happened, to pray, and to seek guidance can help you release any lingering stress and restore your sense of peace. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This quote serves as a reminder that our true strength and peace come from within, from our ability to manage our thoughts and reactions, rather than trying to control the uncontrollable. But cultivating inner peace is more than just a daily routine. It's a lifelong journey of learning to accept what you cannot change, focusing on what you can control, and finding joy in the simple, often overlooked moments of life. For example, think about the satisfaction of completing a task well, the warmth of a loved one's smile, or the beauty of a quiet morning. These small moments can become sources of profound peace when we choose to focus on them rather than the chaos around us. In this modern world, where we are constantly bombarded by stress, noise, and distractions, finding inner peace can seem like an impossible task. Yet, it is precisely in this environment that the teachings of Stoicism and the wisdom of Jesus can guide us toward a more peaceful existence. Both philosophies encourage us to live in harmony with our true nature, to let go of unnecessary anxieties, and to trust in something greater than ourselves, whether that be a divine presence or the natural order of the universe. So, what will you do today to nurture your inner peace? Will you choose to start your day with a few moments of quiet reflection? Will you take a step back when faced with stress and ask yourself whether this is something you can control? By making these choices, you begin to build a foundation of peace that will support you through life's inevitable ups and downs. Remember, inner peace is not a destination. It is a journey that you embark on every day, with each decision, each thought, and each breath. As you continue on this journey, let the wisdom of Stoicism and the teachings of Jesus be your guides. Embrace the idea that true peace comes from within, and that by focusing on what you can control and letting go of the rest, you can create a life filled with calm, clarity, and joy. Reflect on this. How will you cultivate your inner peace today? What small steps can you take to ensure that, like that serene lake, your soul remains tranquil no matter what storms may come your way? The path to inner peace is one of acceptance, mindfulness, and continuous growth. Are you ready to walk it? Number 7. Develop resilience through adversity. Why do we face difficulties in life? Are they merely obstacles in our path, or could they be opportunities in disguise, waiting to help us grow? Stoic philosophy teaches us that resilience is not something we are born with, but something we develop through the trials we endure. Every challenge, every setback, is a chance to strengthen our resolve and deepen our character. When adversity strikes, we stand at a crossroads. We can either allow it to break us or we can rise above it, using the experience to forge an even stronger version of ourselves. This is the essence of resilience. transforming hardship into a powerful tool for personal growth. Think back to the toughest moments in your life. Did those experiences make you stronger, or did they leave you feeling defeated? Often it's in these moments of struggle that we find our true strength. Viktor Frankl, a Jewish psychologist who survived the horrors of the Holocaust, offers a profound example of this in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. He wrote, "In the face of unavoidable suffering, we can find meaning, and thereby endure anything." Frankl's words remind us that even in the darkest of times, we have the power to find purpose and resilience. His suffering became a catalyst for exploring the depths of human endurance and the importance of finding meaning in life's challenges. Now consider a time when you faced a significant life crisis, perhaps the loss of a loved one, a major career setback, or a serious illness. In those moments, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, to believe that the weight of the world is too heavy to bear. But this is also when you can uncover your inner strength, the kind of resilience that only reveals itself when we are tested. Jesus, too, spoke of resilience in the face of trials. He said, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." This powerful message encourages us not to shy away from difficulties, but to face them head-on with the assurance that through resilience we will find peace and victory. Developing resilience through adversity is not just about becoming tougher. It's about gaining a deeper understanding of ourselves and the value of perseverance and courage. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become more steadfast. The teachings of Jesus and the wisdom of the Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius guide us on this path, showing us how to endure hardship with grace and emerge stronger on the other side. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This quote beautifully encapsulates the Stoic approach to adversity. The obstacles we encounter are not barriers but pathways to growth. In today's fast-paced world, where instant gratification often takes precedence over enduring hardship, the concept of resilience can seem outdated. Yet it's precisely this ability to withstand and grow from life's challenges that sets the foundation for true success and fulfillment. Consider how modern life, with its constant pressures and uncertainties, tests our resilience daily. Whether it's dealing with financial stress, navigating the complexities of relationships, or facing the inevitable losses that come with life, the need for resilience is more critical than ever. By embracing the Stoic mindset and the teachings of Jesus, we equip ourselves with the tools to face these challenges with courage and composure. So how do you face difficulties? Do you let them wear you down, or do you see them as opportunities to build your resilience? This is a question worth reflecting on, especially in moments of hardship. When life knocks you down, remember that every struggle is an opportunity to rise again, stronger and wiser than before. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about enduring it, learning from it, and using it as a stepping stone to greater things. As you go through your day, consider how you can apply this mindset to your own life. What challenges are you currently facing, and how can you use them to develop your resilience? We invite you to join the conversation. How do you handle the difficulties that life throws your way? Will you let them defeat you, or will you seize them as opportunities to grow? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments section, and let's learn from each other as we all strive to build a stronger, more resilient spirit. Remember, the journey to resilience is a continuous one, filled with ups and downs, but every step you take on this path brings you closer to the true meaning of strength. Thank you for joining us in today's video. Before we dive into the next segment, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude for your presence here. Being part of this community means a lot, and your support is truly appreciated. Whether you're new to our channel or have been with us for a while, I encourage you to share your story or impressions in the comments. If you're not sure what to say, you can simply comment, "I am a newbie," if you've just joined us, or "I am Stoic," if you've been part of our journey for some time. Your engagement is not just noticed, it's a significant source of inspiration and motivation for us to keep bringing you meaningful content. So, shall we continue this journey together? Number 8. Don't create your upsets. Have you ever caught yourself getting upset over something trivial? A careless comment, an unexpected change in plans, or even a rainy day that ruins your mood? How often do we allow these small inconveniences to grow into significant sources of stress, disrupting our peace of mind? The truth is, many of the troubles we experience are not caused by external events, but by how we choose to interpret and react to them. Reflect on this. How many times have you allowed minor issues to spiral into unnecessary burdens in your life? Jesus offered timeless wisdom on this matter when he said, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothes?" This powerful teaching reminds us not to let trivial worries dominate our thoughts and disrupt our peace. Instead, it encourages us to place our trust in something greater and to keep our focus on the bigger picture. Consider a common scenario. You're on your way to an important meeting, and suddenly, you're stuck in traffic. Your initial reaction might be frustration, anger, or even self-blame for not leaving earlier. But in that moment, ask yourself, will my anger make the traffic disappear or help me arrive any sooner? The answer, of course, is no. So what can you do to improve the situation? You could choose to stay calm, accept the delay, and use the time productively, perhaps by reflecting on your day, listening to an audiobook, or simply enjoying a moment of stillness. By doing so, you'll notice that your distress begins to fade, replaced by a sense of calm acceptance. This ability to choose how we react is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words remind us that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. By understanding that many of our troubles are self-created, we empower ourselves to change our perspective and choose peace over turmoil. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to let small annoyances escalate into major sources of stress. Whether it's a critical comment on social media, a minor inconvenience at work, or the unpredictable nature of daily life, we often find ourselves reacting impulsively, allowing these moments to disturb our peace. But what if we approach these situations differently? What if, instead of reacting with frustration, we paused, took a deep breath, and asked ourselves if the issue truly warranted our distress? More often than not, we'd realize that our peace is far too valuable to be sacrificed for something so insignificant. Let's bring this idea into a modern context with a story. Imagine a man who has just started his day and everything seems to be going wrong. He spills coffee on his shirt, misses the bus, and arrives late to work. By the time he sits down at his desk, he's already in a foul mood. But then, he remembers something his grandmother used to tell him. Don't sweat the small stuff. He takes a moment to breathe, changes his perspective, and decides not to let these small inconveniences ruin his day. Instead, he focuses on what he can control, his attitude, and his actions. By doing so, he turns what could have been a terrible day into a productive and positive one. This shift in mindset not only saves his day, but also teaches him the invaluable lesson that peace comes from within. So, here's a question for you. How will you choose to handle the small frustrations that life inevitably throws your way? Will you let them disturb your peace, or will you rise above them, focusing on what truly matters? When you start recognizing that many of your troubles are self-created, you'll begin to see that you have the power to let them go. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or avoiding challenges, but rather, it means not allowing them to consume you. It's about prioritizing your inner peace and understanding that life is too short to be spent in a state of constant agitation. As you move forward, remember that the teachings of Stoic philosophy and the wisdom of Jesus are always there to guide you toward a life of peace and contentment. By learning to let go of unnecessary worries and focusing on the things that genuinely matter, you will find that life becomes lighter, more joyful, and infinitely more fulfilling. The next time you find yourself getting upset over something small, take a moment to pause and reflect. Is this really worth my peace? More often than not, you'll find that the answer is no. Number 9. Focus on the how, not the what. When last did you find yourself feeling lost or frustrated, even though you're clear about what you want to achieve? It's a common experience, and one that Stoic philosophy helps us understand and navigate. The core lesson here is that the what, your goals, dreams, or desires, is not nearly as important as the how, the way you approach and execute your actions. This principle of focus on the how, not the what, is crucial because it shifts your attention from stressing over outcomes which are often beyond your control to concentrating on the actions and responses that are within your power. By embracing this mindset, you empower yourself to handle life's challenges with greater resilience and peace of mind. Think about a time when you were intensely focused on achieving a specific goal, perhaps a promotion at work or improving a personal relationship. How much stress did you place on yourself by fixating on the outcome? Now imagine if, instead, you had concentrated on how you approached the situation, how you prepared, how you communicated, how you managed your emotions. By shifting your focus from the end result to the process, you likely would have experienced less anxiety and greater satisfaction, regardless of the outcome. This is what the Stoics teach us, that our peace and well-being come from how we engage with the world, not necessarily from what we get out of it. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, wisely noted, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This quote encapsulates the essence of Stoicism, recognizing that while we may not have control over external events, we do have control over our responses. By focusing on the how, you take ownership of your actions, which are the true determinants of your character and your inner peace. When you master the how, the what becomes less significant because you have already succeeded in the most important aspect, maintaining your composure, integrity, and sense of purpose. Let's explore this further with a practical example from everyday life. Consider a situation where you have a disagreement with a colleague or a loved one. If your focus is solely on winning the argument or proving your point, the what, you may find yourself becoming agitated, defensive, or even aggressive. However, if you shift your focus to how you engage in the discussion, perhaps by listening actively, speaking calmly, and showing empathy, you not only increase the chances of a positive outcome but also preserve your peace of mind. This approach not only aligns with Stoic principles, but also fosters healthier, more constructive relationships. Now ask yourself, how often do you get caught up in the outcome rather than the process? How might your life change if you placed more emphasis on how you approach your daily tasks and interactions? This shift in perspective can be transformative. When you focus on the quality of your actions, on being patient, diligent, and thoughtful, you begin to experience a sense of control and calm that isn't dependent on external circumstances. This doesn't mean that you won't face challenges or disappointments, but it does mean that you'll handle them with greater ease and clarity. In our fast-paced, goal-oriented society, it's easy to become fixated on the end results, whether it's career success, financial stability, or personal achievements. However, Stoicism reminds us that true success is found in the way we live each moment. It's in how we choose to face adversity, how we treat others, and how we manage our own thoughts and emotions. By focusing on the how, you cultivate a mindset that values the journey as much as the destination, and this shift can lead to a more fulfilling and balanced life. Think about the way you handle minor troubles, those everyday irritations that can quickly escalate into significant stress if not managed well. Do you let them control your peace, or do you take a step back and consider how you can respond constructively? For example, when stuck in traffic, instead of fuming about the delay, you could focus on how you use the time, perhaps by listening to a podcast, practicing deep breathing, or simply appreciating the moment of pause in an otherwise busy day. By choosing how you respond, you reclaim your peace even in situations that are far from ideal. The lesson here is simple yet profound. By focusing on the how, not the what, you gain control over your inner world, making it easier to navigate the external one. The teachings of Stoic philosophers like Epictetus remind us that our true power lies in our responses, not in the events themselves. By adopting this approach, you not only improve your ability to handle challenges, but also enhance your overall well-being. As you reflect on these ideas, consider how you might apply them in your own life. What situations currently challenge your peace of mind, and how could a shift in focus help you manage them better? Share your thoughts and experiences. How do you handle life's minor troubles? Do you find yourself controlled by the need for a specific outcome? Or are you able to focus on the process, trusting that by doing so, the results will take care of themselves? Engaging with these questions can open up new pathways to personal growth and resilience, grounded in the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Number 10. Prioritize rationality over emotions. Have you ever looked back on a decision made in the heat of the moment and wished you had approached it differently? We've all been there, times when emotions took the wheel, leading us down a path we later regretted. Stoic philosophy offers us a powerful antidote to this all-too-common experience by teaching us to prioritize rationality over emotions. When we allow reason to guide our decisions, we cultivate a sense of calm and clarity, enabling us to navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and less regret. But how do we actually do this in our everyday lives, where emotions can flare up unexpectedly? Let's start with a simple reflection. Think about a time when anger or frustration led you to say or do something that you later regretted. If you had taken a moment to pause, to think clearly, and to let reason take the lead, how might the outcome have been different? This is exactly what the Stoics advocate for, developing the habit of stepping back and engaging our rational mind before acting. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely noted, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. This quote emphasizes the importance of using our reason to navigate the storms of life, rather than being swept away by our emotions. Consider how this principle applies to modern life. Imagine you're at work, and a colleague makes a comment that irritates you. Your immediate reaction might be to snap back or stew in your frustration, but if you take a deep breath and ask yourself what a rational response would look like, you're likely to handle the situation more constructively. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings, but rather managing them in a way that serves your best interests. By prioritizing rationality, you not only protect your peace of mind but also build stronger, more respectful relationships with those around you. This idea of building a foundation on reason is echoed in the teachings of Jesus as well. In the Bible, he says, "The wise man builds his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock." Here, the rock symbolizes the solid, unshakable foundation of reason. When our decisions are grounded in rational thought, we are less likely to be thrown off course by the inevitable storms of life. Instead, we stand firm, guided by wisdom rather than whim. But how do we balance this rational approach with the emotions that make us human? The goal isn't to suppress or ignore our feelings, but to integrate them in a way that enhances our decision-making. When emotions are channeled through reason, they can become a source of strength rather than a liability. For instance, feeling anger might signal that something important needs to be addressed, but reason helps you address it in a constructive way. Similarly, anxiety might prompt you to prepare more thoroughly, but reason prevents it from paralyzing you. This harmonious relationship between reason and emotion is what leads to true balance in life. So the next time you're faced with a difficult decision, whether it's in your personal life, at work, or even in a moment of crisis, ask yourself, what does my reason tell me? What choice will lead to the most lasting benefit? By making a conscious effort to let reason guide your decisions, you'll find that you not only make better choices, but also live with greater peace and fulfillment. The teachings of Stoicism and the wisdom of Jesus, Both offer us a roadmap to living a life that is grounded, thoughtful, and resilient. As you move forward, consider how you can apply this principle in your daily life. How often do you allow emotions to dictate your actions, and how might things change if you pause to let reason have its say? Engage with these questions and start experimenting with small moments throughout your day, moments where you choose to respond rather than react. You might find that this simple shift in focus brings about profound changes in how you experience life's ups and downs. Prioritizing rationality over emotion is not about becoming cold or detached. It's about achieving a state of inner balance where emotions support rather than undermine your decisions. It's about building your life on a solid foundation of reason, just as the wise man built his house on the rock. By following this approach, you'll find yourself better equipped to face challenges, make wiser decisions, and ultimately live a more peaceful and meaningful life. So the next time you find yourself in a situation that tests your composure, remember to pause, breathe, and let reason lead the way. This practice over time will transform the way you navigate the world, allowing you to act with both wisdom and grace, no matter what comes your way. As we wrap up, remember that these 10 powerful Stoic principles are not just ideas. They are tools you can use every day to build a life of resilience, peace, and clarity. By applying them, you can transform challenges into opportunities for growth, let go of unnecessary worries, and make decisions grounded in reason rather than emotion. Imagine how much lighter and more fulfilling life could be when you're no longer disturbed by trivial matters. I encourage you to take these lessons to heart and start incorporating them into your daily routine. How have these principles resonated with you, and how do you plan to apply them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories and experiences. And if you found value in this video, please subscribe to Stoic in Your Life, like, and share it with others who might benefit from these insights. Together, let's continue on this journey toward inner peace and true happiness.